Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Bernhard with the Global Compact. I'm here to give you a brief overview of one of the action platforms that the Global Compact recently launched. This is a very important one. All of them are, but this is a cross-cutting one across all SDGs. We're doing them in collaboration with GRI and with the support of PwC and with the input of many stakeholders, as you will see in a minute. So let me briefly walk you through what are the main objectives and the impact we want to achieve, and then I will also provide some more details on specific deliverables, specific outcomes that we want to achieve in these 2 years, as well as who is already participating in this platform. Basically, the overall objective that we want to achieve with this action platform is actually to promote and mainstream corporate reporting on the SDGs in a way that is of value to different stakeholders, business, government, civil society, investors, and other relevant stakeholders. We heard before by the two first speakers from the perspective of a company and a stock exchange, what is the value of corporate sustainability reporting and what is the value of reporting on the SDGs for business and other stakeholders. So our objective overall is to promote this reporting because we believe it's brings a lot of value to the different stakeholders, and ultimately the impact that it can achieve is that it will also help companies to improve their performance and their impact on the SDGs, because reporting is a means to an end and it can drive performance and help improve performance and impact on the SDGs. So who's participating so far in this action platform? We have made a call for participation, and it's still open for companies and businesses to join us. But we have basically a business constituency and then a multi-stakeholder business constituency. The business are gathered in what we call the Corporate Action Group. So far, we have 28 companies that have signed up to our platform, to our work so far. They come from a variety of sectors, from food and beverage to electricity, to telecoms, to utilities, energy, automotive industry. So we have a variety of companies represented among these 28, and hopefully soon many more. And these companies are part of what we call the Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Committee in order to produce the outcomes and deliverables that the platform has set to develop. We have invited a variety of additional to the companies, a variety of organizations to join us and provide us their expertise, their guidance, and their views on the different products that we will develop. And I will talk more about that later. But basically, that you know that we have more than 25, additional to the companies, more than 25 organizations supporting us in this advisory committee. We have representatives from governments, such as Colombia and the Netherlands. We have representatives from business associations, such as the IOE and the Confederation of Indian Industries and the World Business Council on Sustainable Development. We have a variety of UN institutions that are supporting us to make sure that we get in the different perspectives from the UN system. We have UNCTAD, UNDP, UNEP, also the World Bank. They are part of this platform. We have invited civil society organizations as Oxfam. We have invited also investors to be there, and actually one very important partner, they all are again, but one very important partner to this platform is also the Principles for Responsible Investment. As the platform aims to produce value for all the companies, and we will have also a look at what investors expect from companies on how they should be reporting on the SDGs, so that we create the synergies and that companies know that while reporting, they are not only contributing to government, civil society, increasing the transparency, but also meet investors' expectations on what their decision-making process may need. We also have a variety of local networks represented in the Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group, like Local Network Australia, Brazil, Netherlands, Lebanon, France. So we are very happy to have this diverse group of stakeholders to guide us throughout these 2 years. As said, if you are a business signatory to the Global Compact or GRI, you're welcome to join the platform. A small participation fees applies for all these action platforms. Happy to provide details about that bilaterally or also online. I encourage you to join this crucial and relevant work that will provide a lot of value to your business. If you're not yet a member of UN Global Compact or a GRI signatory, then I encourage you obviously also to join us in this very important journey. Let me briefly talk about the outcomes and the activities. So the outcomes and deliverable that the platform wants to achieve in this first 2 years, the main deliverables, and also what activities are from companies and organizations actually participating in our platform so that you get a better understanding of what your participation may entail. We have 2 main deliverables for 2017 scheduled. The first one of them is what we called business disclosures across the SDGs and their targets, as well as a list of indicators. So we are having a look at SDG targets that are particularly relevant to business, and have drafted a short high-level narrative that outlines key impacts and activities that business can have on the achievement of these SDG targets. For each of these narratives that we are developing with all the organizations that I mentioned before, we will list the set of existing indicators that are there, for example, from frameworks like GRI, that business can use to act and to report on these narratives that we have developed. So key impacts are outlined there to help business focus on what is relevant regarding the achievement of these targets, and already list the indicators they can use to report on them. We will also do a gap analysis to see if some indicators are missing in order to better report to the narratives that we are developing. We will launch this first deliverable in July in the context of the UN High-Level Political Forum, which, as you may know, is the main UN body in charge of the review process of the SDGs. So it's the intergovernmental body that is in charge of the SDG agenda and their progress. And we will organize an event on 18 July and launch our first deliverable. Our second deliverable to be launched in September in New York in the context of the General Assembly opening, as well as of the Leaders Summit of the Global Compact, will be a so-called handbook on SDG reporting that will provide companies with guidance and help to assess what they should be reporting on, what are their priorities. This is linked to the materiality assessment that companies may make. It will also help them to improve their reporting process. And finally, it will also help them to improve the performance on the SDGs. We will release this publication in September, as said. Then 2 other important outcomes, also mentioned by Pietro, of the platform, and probably for the second year or later on, one is the integration of the SDGs into the frameworks of the 2 leading organizations of this platform, the Global Compact and the GRI. You know that the Global Compact has the communication on progress, which is the annual reporting requirement that the Global Compact has towards its signatories. We will integrate the SDGs, the SDG work that we have done in the context of this platform, and get from the platform recommendations on how we can revise, streamline, or improve our reporting requirements, also with a view to align it with GRI standards and reporting frameworks. So that will be also one outcome of the platform, with the idea of simplifying as possible and integrating in a solid way all the SDG dimension that we have been working on. And also the aspect of data aggregation is very important. Pietro mentioned it also. The platform is expected also to produce some recommendations that can facilitate the mining, aggregation of data. We obviously hope that companies using our frameworks and guidance will report in a more consistent and comparable way, So that will also help us to gather better data that we need to assess business contribution and impact on the SDGs. And the Global Compact has also committed to the UN member states to help assessing this business contribution. And the work of this platform will also help us in doing that. What are key, if you are a participant of the platform, both business or our non-business organization as part of our multi-stakeholder advisory committee, what are activities or what are the expectations that we have towards you, and what are possible activities that you need to undertake to help us to achieve our goals? Obviously, as mentioned, you will be invited to provide expertise, guidance, and recommendations to our deliverables in writing and throughout our meetings. We are organizing both online and in-person meetings. This is one of them. For sure, there will be another in-person meeting in September, probably on the 20th of September, in connection with the Leaders Summit of the Global Compact. We're also organizing online webinars to connect with all our participants and gather their input. You will have also participating in the platform, besides sharing your views, your expertise, etc., and helping us shape this extremely relevant agenda on reporting on the SDGs, will also provide you with the opportunity to gain visibility and connect with relevant players in the field. And if you are one of the companies participating, for the companies, we also offer a set of 8 labs or webinars that deep dive into the specific issues relevant to reporting on the SDGs. So you will be able to participate in these labs that also benefit from inputs from experts and learn more on how companies can specifically report in advance specific SDGs and targets. So just to finalize, looking forward, all the outcomes of all our action platforms of the Global Compact will be disseminated widely and will be there for the broader users. So we will encourage you not only to use them, but also to disseminate them among your networks. It is very important to us that our outcomes are also of value to SMEs. The aspect of SMEs was also mentioned earlier today. Our action platform, being a cross-cutting one through all the SDGs, will also create synergies and linkages to all other action platforms, and particularly also to the blueprint from which we heard earlier today. We have invited, as I mentioned, governments and local networks to be part of our platform, and they and all other stakeholders will help us to establish these links between the global and national level. We know that at national level, governments are in charge of implementing, translating the SDG agenda into national plans, that business play a key role in helping advance this national agenda, and we want our tools and products to be useful also for these stakeholders at the national level to be used there. Finally, what are immediate next steps of our action platform? Right now, we're gathering input from our participants on the first deliverable, this business disclosures and indicators. We have some upcoming meetings. Our next online meeting with all involved platform participants will be in May. In July, we will present at the SDG Business Forum in connection with the HLPF, our first deliverable. And right now, we're also calling for case studies, because the second deliverable, and I did not mention that, not only will produce guidance for companies to map where they stand on the SDGs to improve their reporting process as well as their performance, but it will also contain some emerging best practices on how companies are already reporting on the SDGs. So while the SDGs were adopted 2 years ago, recently many companies are already moving and reporting on the SDGs, and we will show some of them on how they are doing with the view, obviously, of through also the work of the platform to improve these reporting processes and these case studies in the near future. So that's it on my end, and we are happy to take all questions.
So thank you very much, Bernhard.